Errol Flynn, the dashing Hollywood hero, the king of adventure films, a man whose on-screen escapades were legendary, and whose off-screen life was often even more scandalous. But what about the children who grew up in the shadow of this larger-than-life icon? Born from 3 different marriages, each navigated the immense weight of the Flynn legacy in their own unique way, from the battlefields of Vietnam to the sound stages of Hollywood and the quiet shores of Jamaica. Number 4, Sean Flynn, born on May 31, 1941, in Los Angeles, was Errol Flynn's only son with his first wife, French actress Lily Demita. Their marriage was famously stormy, and they divorced when Sean was just an infant. Raised primarily by his mother, Sean had limited contact with Errol, who became a remote, even mythical figure to him. Yet his father's influence was undeniable. Sean inherited Errol's striking good looks, charm, athleticism, and a potent love of risk. Perhaps inevitably, Sean first dipped his toes into acting. At 15, he appeared in an episode of his father's TV show, The Errol Flynn Theater. Later, at 20, he starred in The Son of Captain Blood, a direct sequel to one of Errol's most iconic films. He made a few other European films, but acting ultimately bored him, especially as his movies didn't achieve much success. He even briefly tried music, releasing a 45 HRPM single. After a stint in Africa as a safari guide and game warden, Sean found his true passion in late 1965, after buying a Leica camera, photojournalism. In January 1966, as the Vietnam War escalated, Sean went to South Vietnam as a freelance photographer for outlets like Paris Match and Time Life. He quickly gained a reputation for extraordinary daring, often embedding himself with Special Forces units in the most dangerous zones. He was wounded in the knee, fought his way out of a Viet Cong ambush carrying an M16, and even saved an Australian platoon by spotting a mine. He jumped with the 101st Airborne. This wasn't acting, this was real-life peril, a way perhaps to forge his own heroic reputation distinct from his father's on-screen adventures. He also covered the Arab-Israeli Six-Day War in 1967. Tragically, Sean's quest for the ultimate story led to his disappearance. On April 6, 1970, Sean, then 28, and his fellow photojournalist Dana Stone were riding rented Honda motorcycles in Cambodia, heading towards a Viet Cong checkpoint on Highway 1 near Chai Pu. Despite clear danger signs, they proceeded and were captured by armed guerrillas. They were never seen alive again. Sean's mother, Lily Demita, spent an enormous fortune searching for him for 14 years before having him legally declared dead in 1984. His friend and colleague, Tim Page, also dedicated years to the search. The most accepted theory is that Flynn and Stone were handed over to factions of the Khmer Rouge and likely executed in mid-1971. Their bodies have never been definitively found. His daring life and mysterious end inspired Dennis Hopper's photojournalist character in Apocalypse Now, the song Sean Flynn by The Clash, and numerous books. Number 3. Deirdre Flynn, born on January 10, 1945, in Mexico City, was Errol Flynn's first child with his second wife, Nora Eddington. Nora, the daughter of a Los Angeles County Sheriff's captain, met Errol during his infamous 1943 statutory rape trial. They married in 1944, but divorced in 1949, when Deirdre was very young. Raised primarily by Nora, Deirdre grew up in Hollywood, but, unlike her swashbuckling father, seemed to prefer a path less in the direct spotlight. Early press from 1969, when she was 24, noted that, while she resembled Errol, she doesn't want to follow in his footsteps as an actor. Her real ambition then was stunt work. She famously performed stunts for Michael Douglas in his debut film, Hail Hero, 1969. Her stunt work continued, with a credit in Poltergeist 2, The Other Side, 1986. Deirdre did have some acting roles, including as Anne in the 1974 TV movie I Love You. Goodbye. She also appeared as herself in documentaries about her father, like Tasmanian Devil, The Fast and Furious Life of Errol Flynn, where she memorably stated, "He was one of a kind, and I think it will be a long time before you see anything similar to him, if ever." She also worked in costume design for the 1990 film Forgotten Heroes. Her relationship with her father's legacy was also practical. Following Errol's death in 1959, Deirdre was involved in the long legal battles over his estate, which was complicated by an unsigned second will. In 1969, she was grappling with issues of her citizenship and the still unsettled estate. Deirdre's career choices, stunt work, costume design, occasional acting, show a multifaceted engagement with Hollywood, often in vital but less visible roles. Number 2. Rory Flynn. Born on March 12, 1947 in Los Angeles, also to Errol Flynn and Nora Eddington. Like Deirdre, her parents divorced when she was very young, and Errol Flynn died when she was just 12. She attended Hollywood High and lived with her father at his unique Mulholland farm until she was about 7. She cherished memories of this almost fantastical home, populated by animals Errol brought from his movie sets, and of lying on a bearskin rug in his den as he wrote. Despite his absences, Rory felt that when Errol was with his children, he made us feel like we were his world. As a strikingly tall teenager, Rory was discovered by the modeling world. For nearly a decade, she worked as an international model in New York, London, and Paris, even encountering Salvador Dali, who painted me into one of his enormous paintings. During the 1970s, she was in a long-term relationship with Alan White, the drummer for the band Yes, living in London amidst the rock and roll scene. Recognizing modeling as a short-lived job, Rory returned to Hollywood around 1980 and enrolled in photography classes at UCLA. She hustled her way into her first job as a still photographer on the film Return of the Living Dead, 1985. And went on to a successful career shooting stills for numerous films and for ABC, covering all their sitcoms and movies of the week. In 1987, Rory met Israeli film producer Gideon Amir on a film assignment in Sri Lanka. They married and have been together for over 3 decades, with one son, Sean Flynn Amir, born 1989, who was an actor known for his role in Nickelodeon's Zoe 101. Rory had 2 previous brief marriages. A pivotal moment for Rory came after her mother, Nora Eddington, passed away shortly before September 11th. Rory inherited a collection of love letters exchanged between her parents, which became the catalyst for her 2006 memoir, The Baron of Mulholland. A daughter remembers Errol Flynn. Her goal was to show Errol as a loving husband and devoted father, using his own letters and family photos to offer an anti-dirt perspective. The book includes sections on their Mulholland drive home, her father's spirit, and a significant tribute to her lost half-brother, Sean Flynn, after whom her son is named. Rory has also been very active in preserving her father's legacy, particularly in his birthplace of Tasmania, Australia. She participated in centenary celebrations, loaned personal family items, including Errol's birth certificate and love letters to museums, and travels globally, hosting screenings of his classic films. More recently, Rory and Gideon Amir have made their home on a 5-acre property in Georgia, her version of Mulholland Farm, where she rescues horses and enjoys a life filled with animals, learning to fly a Cessna and taking piano lessons. Number 1. Arnella Roma. Flynn. Born on Christmas Day, December 25, 1953, in Rome, Italy. Her mother was actress Patrice Wymore, Errol's third wife, whom he married in 1950. Errol Flynn passed away when Arnella was only 6 years old. Patrice Wymore largely raised Arnella in Jamaica, on Errol Flynn's sprawling 2,000-acre estate near Port Antonio, which included a coconut plantation and cattle ranch. Patrice managed the estate, becoming a respected figure in the local community and aimed to provide Arnella with a more enduring and satisfactory way of life away from Hollywood's pressures. Arnella, blessed with her parents' good looks, pursued a career as a model in Europe. She was notably photographed by Otto Stupikoff for Vogue Paris in the 1970s. However, her adult life was tragically marked by a battle with addiction. Arnella had one son, Luke Flynn, born Luke Stucker, circa 1975-1976, with fashion photographer Carl Robert Stucker. Luke also followed the family's artistic path, becoming an actor and writer. Sadly, Arnella Roma Flynn's struggles with drug and alcohol addiction were profound. She passed away on September 21, 1998, in Jamaica, near the family estate, at the young age of 44. Her death was widely attributed to an apparent drug overdose. She was survived by her son Luke, her mother Patrice Wymore, who passed in 2014, and her half-sisters Deirdre and Rory. Arnella's ashes are interred near her father's grave at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California.